Hi Taurus, welcome to your first ever Year Ahead in Focus reading with me, Raphael Ray from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. So, without further ado, thank you so much for all of your continued support. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for all of your subbies and all of that. Yeah, let's just go straight into it. So, I would like to call into both of these decks all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I hope that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's see what the year of 2018 has in store for you. For those of you that know, I have done a 2018 numerology video. Check that out, it's on the page, it's on the channel already. Okay, so for the month of January 2018, we've got one card out already. Ooh, okay, so you've got the Ten of Swords and you've got the Sun. Look at that. So you've got one of the worst cards in the deck and you've got the best card in the deck. So the Sun card, let me talk about this first, lightens and brightens everything that it comes into contact with. If it comes with the Ten of Swords, it means that the Ten of Swords experience that you have passes quickly and you come out of it unscathed. So that's a little rundown. Let's talk about this first. So the Ten of Swords is an end of something, it's a final end of something, and it's usually an abrupt one. It's one that comes to fruition. So I kind of feel, unfortunately for you guys, Taurus, and I'm going to, you guys know me by now, I don't bullshit you, I just tell you exactly what I see and how I see it. So I kind of feel that the January 2018, a lot of things that you wanted to be over in 2017 are going to carry on into the month of January. What I can promise you is that by the second week of January, they will have been cut short and stopped dead. Okay, so the worry, the sleepless nights, the anguish and the anger are things that won't follow you into this year. Or rather, they're going to come with you into this year, but by the second week of January, they'll be over. For some of you, the word that I'm hearing is friendship. There are going to be certain friendships and certain associations and acquaintances that don't make it forward with you. And the reason they don't make it forward with you is because they no longer serve your life. They no longer serve your life path. You know, you guys are very slow moving and you guys tend to do things at a pace. And I kind of feel like this experience is going to cut certain people out of your life very, very quickly and with a bit of a bump. However, you have this, you have the Sun card, which is, I mean, we all hope and pray that we get this card in a reading because it's the lightest and brightest, most powerful card in the deck. You know, it doesn't represent an astrological sign or anything like that. The Sun is the Sun. The Sun in an old world religion, as many of you have heard me say many times, was God. You know, it's the divine blessing, it's the divine happiness, it's the divine joy, the divine light that comes forward and touches your life and blesses you. These people, these situations, these acquaintances that come into January 2018 but end abruptly, blessings in disguise. At the time it may be a little bit painful, it may be like, oh shit, you know what, I didn't actually expect that. But the Sun card comes forward to say your life is going to be happier, more joyous, more protected and more abundant for having or suffering this loss. And, you know, whatever that loss may be, whoever that person may be leaving your life, it is only and can only be a blessing when you see the Sun card. So don't hold on to it. Don't hold on to them. If somebody leaves your life, let them go. There is a good reason for it that will become apparent as the months go on. Okay. February. Let's see what February 2018 has in store for you. Okay, so you've got the Devil card, Sign of Capricorn, and you've got the Judgment card. Very interesting. So, the month of February, because the Devil card usually talks about things that we attach ourselves to on purpose. The things that, you know, you make the attachment consciously and then it becomes a subconscious continuation. and we then convince ourselves that we're stuck in a pattern or in a cycle or with an addiction or whatever it may be. Now, the interesting thing is, the Devil card, like I said, represents the sign of Capricorn. So it's actually got a lot of positive connotations. It's not just, you know, when people see this card, they're like, oh, you know, it's all negative. No, actually it isn't. The sign of Capricorn is about achievement, about accomplishment, about really sticking to something or delving deep into something and finding ways to commit to it. You know, that's one of the things about the Devil card. It's about a commitment that you made that eventually becomes a chain. It no longer becomes something that you consciously do, it becomes something that you subconsciously do. And it's the subconscious bit that is unhealthy. Not the subconscious itself, the subconscious habit of doing something or attaching yourself to something that is no good for you. That's the unhealthy bit. The subconscious is a beautiful scape within the human psyche. And if you can train that beastie, oof, what you're capable of is amazing. So this talks about what you chain yourself and what you tie yourself to. Then you've got the Judgment card. The Judgment card is the blast from the past. Now this is interesting because I've already said to you that there's going to be something or someone that you're going to have to let go. Taurus is very, very stubborn. You got fixed Earth. I'm Aquarius with Leo rising. I'm double fixed, so I know exactly. You know, we're stubborn. It's routing to who we are. The Judgment card talks about a blast from the past. It talks about things that we thought were over that come back at us. Now, what I have to tell you is in the month of February, this stuff that ends, these people that you let go, they're going to be very, very surprised at your ability to just say, okay, fine, it is what it is, I'm moving on. That's not something that you guys usually do. What's the word? You know, and I forgive me if I sound like I'm telling you, I don't mean that at all. But, you know, I'm just, this is a general reading for the whole sign, you know, and there's so many of you, and we're all totally different characters. Taurus, you usually hold on to things, you're usually slow and methodical. For you to suddenly just say, okay, fine, you know what, go, I'm going to do my own thing, and to just let it go and not do this whole attachment thing is quite rare. This person, these people, this group, this situation is going to come back and say, but you usually hang on, you usually cling, why aren't you clinging to me? And it's going to be up to you to say, because while this card, the Judgment card, represents the blast from the past, it also represents the dawn of a new day. And it's going to be up to you to say, well, you know what, it ended how it ended, it's time for me to walk. Interesting. Really, really interesting. And I also kind of feel like this is going to be the past in some way, shape or form, coming back to you to say, what about me? Or, you know, how does this going forward? Well, the truth of the matter is it only goes forward if you choose for it to go forward. Alright, so, March. You've got the Star, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And then you've got the Eight of Wands. Okay, so this is lovely. Interesting, because you've got a double hit of the 8 energy here. The Star card is number 17, numerology, we always simplify. 1 and 7 gives you 8. Then you've got that 8 of Wands. So first of all, the Star card talks about hope. This is going to be about an opportunity that comes to you from a distance. This is going to be not only an opportunity for you guys to travel, but it's also going to be an opportunity for you to connect with brand new people, brand new places, and a brand new tribe. Aquarius represents the tribe. It represents the group consciousness. It represents the group itself. It represents your bubble, or more importantly, your personal tribe. It talks about the world, it talks about the future. This is you having, you know, in the month of March, you're going to have a real glimpse, Taurus, of where you can be and how it is that this has been actually the most beneficial, you know, although it's come with its challenges, it's going to have been the most amazing part of the year for you. Because in March, you start to see that for letting some things and some people go, you can start to invite brand new people into your life. And these new people, they're your tribe. These new people that you start to interact with, start to connect with, certainly from a distance. We're talking emails, we're talking social media, because Aquarius rules, this card rules Aquarius, and that's all to do with communication, it's all to do with technology, it's all to do with communication with people at a distance, via technology, it's all of those things. This is you learning at a distance as well, finding a soul group, whether that's online, whether it's, at a distance, a correspondence course, anything like that, and really, really tapping into that energy of, do you know what, these are my people, these, this feels like what I'm supposed to be doing and where I'm supposed to be. Then you've got the Eight of Wands, which talks about, like I said, it's messages coming from a distance. It could be letters, emails, phone calls, all of the above, lots of communication. March is going to be a really, really busy time for you. It's going to be going back and forth and constantly, and there's going to be a lot of it. Lots of phone calls, lots and lots of emails, lots of texts, all of that stuff, but really positive communication, enriching communication, because you've got the Wands there, which is fire, and then you've got Aquarius, which is air. It's a really powerful mix because they feed each other, they feed off of each other, and they enhance each other. And then, like I said, you've got a double hit of this 8 energy, which to me, the number 8 is all to do with business, it's all to do with finance, it's all to do with acquisition through business. So this could be very much you tapping into lucrative ways of, of making communication work for you in some way, shape or form. Very exciting. Okay, and then we've got April. Coming into your time, coming into Taurus season. Happy birthday for those of you that celebrate it this month. Okay. 10 of Pentacles, amazing, beautiful. And the 4 of Swords. Okay, so this is an interesting mix, because the 10 of Pentacles is financial abundance, it's acquisition, it's the home being secure, it's having all your bills paid and having money on top of that, it's having people over. This is going to be a really busy month for you. The month before is very much going to be about communication at a distance, whereas the month of April is very much going to be people in your space, people coming to visit, you going to visit them, family reunions, people having their children over. It's going to be all of that, all condensed into one, and it's going to be you having a very, very secure time. It's going to be you, Taurus, kind of sitting back and saying, yeah, got that little bit extra in the bank this month, I've got this going on, I've got this going on, I've figured out a way to utilise my resources in the best way, shape or form. And also the number 10 talks about the home. So this talks about money and finances and abundance. Not just, prosperity isn't just about money. Prosperity is about happiness. It's about the feeling of abundance. It's about an abundance of feeling as well. Prosperity is about not just having more than you need, but having enough to be content. And you're really going to have that experience this month. And then you've got the 4 of Swords. The 4 of Swords, and these two cards together tell me that April's going to be a month where you really should take those moments, take it all in, savour it like a fine wine on your tongue, or, a really good bite of food that just makes you go, have that experience, when you look at your bank balance and you think, oh, bloody hell, I'm really flush this month. Or when you look at, your friends and your family when you're sitting around the dinner table and you think, wow, savour those moments, take the time out, because the 4 of Swords is a slow down, it's a have that moment, it's take the rest before the rest is imposed on you. And when I see these two together, that's the feeling that I get, is it's like, experience this month at the speed that this month travels, go with it, just say to yourself, actually, do you know what, I'm just going to enjoy this feeling of being full, this feeling of having nice food, of being surrounded by the people that I love. Just soak in that experience and really live in it, really experience it, be in that moment and be in the now, and experience that and soak it up, soak it in. And then you have May. So what does the month of May have in store for you, Taurus? the Page of Wands, great, and the Seven of Cups. Okay, so an interesting mix here, because you've got the inspiration. Certainly a short trip somewhere quite warm is going to take place for you, or you'll be planning something like that, or you know, planning a weekend break or somewhere nice to get away to. So yeah, and also it talks about inspiration as well, that how you'll have the inspiration to go somewhere, or you know, maybe you'll see an advert and think, actually, do you know what, I really want to go there, or somebody will say something to you in a passing conversation that happens in a small way that makes you think, do you know what, actually it's always been a dream of mine to go to. Make the plans and commit to them as well. You know, one of the things about the pages, they can represent children, but they can also what I call markers of consciousness. And the thing is with kids, when they decide to do something, they just decide to do it and they commit to it. They don't do this, which is the Seven of Cups, and then say, they don't try to do any more than they have to. They make the decision and they do what they have to do. The Seven of Cups talks about spreading yourself too thin. And it's, you know, very much an experience of, you know, not necessarily pipe dreams, but you can't commit to any one thing because you're trying to commit to everything. Bring the focus back. Bring it back just a little. You know, if you make a decision to do something and you say, do you know what, I've always wanted to do that and I've got the inspiration to do with it, stick with that inspiration. You know, follow it to your deepest and truest way of doing things. Commit to it so that you don't end up just having it become another pipe dream. You know, if you have a travel plan in the month of May, and there's something that you want to do, happy birthday for you May Taurians as well, by the way. Stick to it. You know, stick to that one idea. Don't let it be swayed and changed by everything and everyone else around you. Okay. June. So heading into the height of summer now. Or rather heading into summer, should I say. Okay. Oh, great. Four of Wands and the Death card. Wow. Really, really interesting. For you guys, the numerology seems to be really doing some interesting things here. Because you've got the Sun card here, which is 19. 1 and 9 gives you 10. Then you've got the 10 of Swords. Here you've got the 17 in the Star card, but then you've got the 8 of Wands. And then here you've got the 4 of Wands, and then you've got the Death card, which is 13. 1 and 3 gives you 4. So really, really interesting things happening here. So your numbers for this year, actually let me write these in here, are 10, they are 8, and they are 4. Don't know why, don't know how, but these numbers this year, Taurus, are going to feature quite heavily for you. So tap into that. You know, think about what that means, and what those numbers mean for you and to you. Okay, so anyway, mate, June. You've got the 4 of Wands. This is celebration. It's happy times. It's things coming together. It's actually stability. It's actually, you know, having the feeling that actually, do you know what, things are going my way. They're working for me. Things are becoming tangible. They're becoming real, and they're actually happening in a way that I can really, in a way that I can really start to see. I can start to see the efforts coming through. I can start to see the tangible results. And you guys are all about tangible results, and that's a really good thing. The 4 of Wands isn't just celebration, it represents marriage, but it also represents commitment. It represents commitment and deciding to commit to something, to be honest and open with something. So you've come out of this experience of, right, this is what I want, this is what I want to do. I've had the inspiration to do something, or even to create something. And then this month, the month of June, you decide to really commit to it and say to yourself, actually, do you know what? I'm going for that. I'm going to marry myself to that thing. Then, the sign of Scorpio features quite heavily for you this month. And why do I say that? Because the Death card represents the sign of Scorpio. So the Death card talks about transformation. It talks about, you know, things changing from one thing to another. It can be an ending. It can be the end of one thing. When one door closes, another one opens. So what does this mean? I feel like this is kind of you committing to transformation, but more importantly, committing to allowing the new to come through. And sometimes the only way to do that is to continue on this streak of really letting things go. You know, and I feel like you're going to discover a brand new strength in doing so. You know, and you're going to do something in complete contrast to what people perceive of a Taurus. You know, like, oh, well, they never let things go. And this year, you're going to be like, letting them go left, right and centre. Like, yeah, fuck that, don't work for me. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of this experience of really committing yourself to change. And more importantly, positive changes that you know, affect and enrich your life personally. That word seems to really be coming through. Aries had it as well. So enrichment is one of the taglines for 2018, I believe, which is beautiful. So yeah, this is about you committing to change, but more importantly committing to, because Scorpio is all about your deeper desires, committing to what you want, committing to what you feel and why that's important. Great, really, really great. And then we've got July, so middle of summer here, you know. So we've got Temperance, beautiful, and we've got the Moon card. Okay, so again, really interesting, because you've got the Temperance card, which is Sagittarius, but it also represents spiritual distillation. And then you've got the Moon card, which is Pisces. So the interesting thing about both of these signs is they're both mutable. So you've got this real sort of shifting, so you've committed to the change, you've committed to this whole transformation and learning to move and work with things. Then you get this really mutable energy. So you've got the Temperance card, which is you really looking into yourself. How can I find the beauty of my situation? How can I find the beauty of what I'm experiencing? How can I really make what I'm experiencing actually work for me? What am I getting out of this? And more importantly, how do I put back into it? How do I keep this flow going? And I really feel like that's what it's going to be about. You're really, by July, you guys are really going to find yourself having this experience of, I know how to make things work. I know how to let go of what doesn't work for me. I know, you know, and when you know what to let go of and you know, move past what doesn't work for you, what does work for you, what is important to you really starts to show up, really starts to manifest in your life. And the Temperance card represents, like I said, the sign of Sagittarius. It's that higher thinking, it's that higher knowledge, that higher philosophy, that deeper wisdom, that amazing ability to go through transformational healing. You know, July is going to be a really healing month for you. And then you've got the Moon card, which is all about your instincts, which is all about the past. It's all about examining the past. So you're going through this process of really spiritually cleansing yourself, and you're going to be able to really look at your past. And this is a rare thing. I think the only sign that I've ever read for and had something like this come up was for Gemini a few months ago. This is quantum mechanics, guys. This is going to be you guys being able to literally change your past. You can't go back in time and do it, but what you can do is change the feelings and the outlook and the future based on how you feel about what you have experienced. And that is true transformation. That is true healing, because you can then examine what you've been through, how it affected you, how it changed you, and look at it and just say, you know what, that's my past. And actually I can lift all of the beauty out of that and leave the crap that doesn't serve me. Leave the crap and the shit feelings that make me feel like I can't get past or I can't do or da-da-da-da-da. You're leaving all of that behind. And that's how you truly change your past, by saying, you know what, it was ugly, it hurt, it taught me this, and you know what, I can walk away from it. And that's going to be a really, really powerful month of healing for you guys. It's going to be a really instinctual month, a very deeply intuitive month, but it's going to be intuition that pertains to yourself. It won't be about anybody else. You know, so you guys are going to be really reflective in the month of July, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all. Then you've got August. So let's see what the month of August has to say for you. Oh, wow. Ace of Cups and the Strength card. This is absolutely stunning. Really, really stunning. So you've got the Ace of Cups. This is love. This is the root powers of love. It's the foundations of love. It's you looking at everything through love. And how do you do that? The really interesting thing is the Temperance card teaches you to see the beauty in everything. To really, really love something, even if it's a difficult experience. And when you can do that, love starts to show up for you in a really big way. Then you've got this, the Strength card, which represents the sign of Leo, but it also talks about the heart. You know, it talks about the heart and the spine and the backbone and really having the courage, yeah, to get involved, to be in life, to commit yourself to finding love, to being loved, to loving someone. For those of you that are single, August is your month. August is the month where you can meet that partner that really, really excites you. If you're already coupled, August is the month where you say, you know what, this takes precedence. This is what's important in my life, and you, whoever that person is, boyfriend and girlfriend, you know, whatever, this is you tapping into that ability to let love reign free and really show you where you want to be and what your relationship should be. And more importantly, if you allow that to happen, for some of you, August looks like conception time. You know, for you Taurians that are trying or, you know, have an idea to try in the future, August is your fertile month. This is the month where you find out you're pregnant. This is the month where you find out that your girlfriend or your wife is pregnant. You know, it's very much that kind of thing. And more importantly, it's done out of love. It's going to be the best news that you ever have. This is about you tapping into, after you've cleared all of your stuff and committed to the transformation in life, saying, you know what, now that I'm clean, now that I'm pure from the inside, I can love deeper than I've ever loved and with more full force with everything that I am. You know, this is going to be a really gushy time for you guys. It's going to be a time where you just, like I can feel it for you. Do you know what I mean? It's shoring me out. Like, look at the smile on my face. That's how I feel it for you guys. You know, whether you're in a committed relationship or whether you are looking for love, August is going to be the month where it really happens for you. I mean, really, really shows up like never before. September. What does September have in store for you? Two of Swords. Great card. And King of Cups. I love these cards. So, September's going to be a time where you really start to trust your feelings. It's going to be a time where you have to trust your feelings. And why do I say that? The Two of Swords is a very psychic card, because it talks about having sight removed and going by what you feel, by going by pure intuition. Why do I say that? So she's got the two swords crossed over her heart. That means she's guarding this because it's guarding the heart, yeah, because it's the most important thing, because it's become the most important thing to her, right? And because she's blindfolded, that represents the trust, it represents the intuition, it represents the trust in your intuition. And then on top of that, you've got the King of Cups. So a Pisces, a Scorpio, or a Cancerian male. Interesting, because you've got the Scorpio card there, and then on top of that, you've got here the Pisces card. So this could be somebody that has attributes of both, or, you know, is one or the other. This person's going to feature heavily for you. It may well be that it's a female with, you know, with that. It doesn't necessarily have to be just a water sign male, but the chances are it will be. This person is going to really facilitate and, more importantly, support your intuitive growth. This person is really going to say, you know what, your feelings are on point, your gifts and your abilities are on point, your outlook is on point. This is going to be a really, whoever this person is that comes into your life or makes themselves known in September is going to be really supportive of you. And this person, in being so supportive of you, is going to teach you to trust yourself and trust your feelings like never before. September's going to be a really introvert month in the respect that you'll be listening more to yourself on an internal level, and you're going to be supported from outside of yourself to do so. You know, this is going to be the sort of person that if they are your partner, they're going to be like, yeah, you know what, go with that. What do you feel? And how is it working for you? And share that with me. You know, September's going to be an intuitive month, but it's also going to be one of deep sharing. Amazing. Really, really amazing. Impromptu air guitar there. I know. October, Halloween month, my favourite. Okay. So you've got the Three of Wands. So more travel on the horizon for you guys. And then you've got, there you go. Isn't she lovely? Queen of Pentacles. Very musical at the moment. I just go with it, whatever. Okay, so you've got the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is your outlook. It's your ship coming in. The Three of Wands talks about abundance finding its way to you, but more importantly, it's about your outlook and you deciding where you want to be. And when I see this card, it usually accompanies some form of travel. This is you, Taurus, travelling for business. Why do I say that? The Queen of Pentacles, a Taurus, Capricorn or Virgo female, usually. But in terms of the sign that she personally represents, you're talking about... ignore that. So you're talking about... And this is you. This is an aspect of you. Whether you are male, whether you are female, this is you travelling in some respect for business. Whether it's you on your way to a job interview, whether it's you going to... going somewhere to drum up business or to find out what you would like to do there or how you can bring those ideas back to where you are or where you work. This is like, the way I see it or the way I'm feeling it is it's like an expedition of sorts. You're going out into the world and finding some way, shape or form to really connect to ideas that become quite fruitful for what it is that you do and what it is that you want to do. So this is you going out into the world to find more prosperity and bringing your findings back with you. Very, very exciting. Okay, November. What does November have in store for you? Okay, we've got the... Okay, so you guys are definitely travelling in October and November. You've got the Knight of Wands. This is also going to be a very passionate time for you. And then you've got the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so... Knight of Wands says that this is you going places, this is you finding your passion, and it's you following your passion. And more importantly, then you've got the Three of Pentacles. This is you following some sort of learning. This is you following some sort of aspect of what do I want to learn? What am I passionate about learning? You know, and because this card, the Three of Pentacles, is academic learning. It's the structural learning, a course of study, a school, a university. And then on top of that, like I said, the Knight of Wands, this is somewhere that you are going to physically, you know, you're going to go on a physical level to do the learning. So it's going to be a really exciting month because this is where you become a student in your own right, but by your choice. And then finally, December. Page of Pentacles and the Hierophant. Interesting, because that's you. That is all you, Taurus. I mean, the Hierophant is the sign of Taurus. And then you've got the Page of Pentacles, which is all to do with Earth. It's all to do with a business that you start in some way, shape or form. Where most people will be looking in December to sort of start, you know, packing things up, you will be just looking to gear up. And you'll be looking at ways that you can really start to put this learning and this structural tuition that you've taken on board. Wow, okay. And start to really make something tangible out of it. Start to really make something worthwhile with what you've learned, because the Page of Pentacles is a small business. It's something that you do like a project or a hobby, but usually a small business. And the fact that it's here with the Hierophant, which is the status quo, talks about you really doing something in an official capacity. So it may well be that you go through this period of being the student and then you suddenly become the teacher or the master. This is about something that you've picked up in a big way, something that you're passionate about, that you've decided to really embark on. You know, it's going to be a really, really exciting year for you guys. I have no doubts whatsoever. Really, really exciting year. And then finally, the key to your year is, I bought the Luminous Spirit Tarot deck. This is going to be the key, like the overall theme of your year. Really, really love this deck. Wow, that's really interesting, because Aries got this same card as well, the Hanged Man. Wow, not really sure, but I guess, I mean, the message is exactly the same. Be in this experience. Go with what happens. Follow your intuition, but more importantly, allow things, to happen at the time and the pace and the space that they happen. Don't try to force anything. I mean, it's not like you guys to rush anyway, because you are slow and steady. But the Hanged Man kind of says just be with and go with the experiences. When you are forced to move on from things and to work through things, work through them, go through them, accept them for what they are, and be with that experience, because in doing so, you really, really find your best life. In having this experience of the Hanged Man and saying, okay, you know what, it is what it is, and I'm just going to ride it out, which is something that you guys are really good at. You get the best out of it. You get the most nourishment, you know, you get the best soul that you can be will come from you accepting what is. And the Hanged Man is very much actually about finding enlightenment. And the best way best and easiest way that you find enlightenment is through true acceptance, because that acceptance brings you understanding. And when you understand something, that's when you take the step up. That's when you take the level up. An amazing year. Remember these numbers, 10, 8 and 4. They're going to be relevant for you in some way, shape or form. Look at what those houses are in your personal astrology chart as well. 10th house, career. 8th house, other people's money, deep psychology, all the sex and taboos and stuff. The 4th house, your home. Really, really interesting. Look at that stuff. That's some numerology coming through for you there. Have an amazing 2018, Taurus. Come back to this video time and time again to see what the predictions say for you. I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. Have a great one, and I will see you very soon for more videos. Take care.